Some albums ain't never made it to the world, yet they names echo louder than most that did. Now these are the projects that promised to change hip-hop forever, but vanished before we ever got to hear them. Death of Escobar by Nas. Now back in '01, Nas was standing at a crossroads. The world knew him as Nas Escobar, a sharp-tongued street poet turned kingpin persona inspired by Pablo Escobar. But that image has started to weigh him down. Now he wanted to bury that version of himself and start fresh. And that's where Death of Escobar came in, an album meant to mark the end of one identity and the rebirth of another. Now the concept was bold. This wasn't just another Nas record, it was supposed to be his transformation. According to reports, the project was fully mapped out, even listed on Sony Music UK's 2001 release plan. But behind the scenes, things was falling apart. Leaks, bootlegs, and label tensions started eating away at the album. And just as Nas was fighting to redefine himself, a new storm hit. His beef with Jay-Z exploded, pulling all attention away from his music and towards the feud that dominated hip-hop headlines. A lot of insiders say Death of Escobar was nearly complete before Nas shelved it. Now, a bunch of his tracks found new life on the Lord tapes, songs that carried the same introspective tone and raw honesty that he planned for the album. From Nas's personal rebirth to a different kind of legend, Dr. Dre's Detox promised a cinematic hip-hop finale. Alright, so when Dre announced Detox back in 2002, hip-hop stopped in its tracks. The idea alone sounded cinematic. A concept album told from the mind of a hitman with Denzel Washington rumored to narrate. Fans imagine it as Dre's final masterpiece, the closing chapter to a career that already reshaped rap twice over. Now at that time, Aftermath was on fire. Eminem was untouchable, 50 Cent was breaking every record, and Dre's reputation as the godfather of modern production was at its peak. Detox was supposed to be the next evolution, darker, deeper, and bigger than anything before it. But then came the silence. Years passed. Producers like Scott Storch, High Tech, and Focus confirmed that they'd worked on it. Big names, Snoop, Nas, T.I., Jay-Z, and Eminem all recorded verses, but nothing ever stuck. Leaks started to surface, fueling the myth, while Dre's perfectionism kept him scrapping and reworking tracks. Yeah, so then inspiration waned, his focus shifted to beats and mentoring, and by 2015's Compton, Detox was dead, but its legend still lives. Now while Dre chased perfection, Kanye was about to take his art in a completely unexpected emotional direction. Good Ass Job by Kanye West. He had a plan. A 4-part story that started with the college dropout, grew with late registration, and celebrated victory on graduation. Now the final chapter was supposed to be Good Ass Job, a triumphant return to soulful beats, orchestral production, and confidence at its highest point. It was meant to be the sound of Kanye winning, but life had other plans. Now back in 2007, his mams, Donda West, suddenly passed on. Not long after that, his long-term relationship ended. Now these moments shattered the man. The cheerful, sample-heavy Kanye disappeared, replaced by somebody broken, grieving, and searching for meaning. Now quietly, Good Ass Job vanished to be replaced by 808s and Heartbreak, a raw and unanticipated phenomenon. Now that album straight shocked fans, but it also changed hip-hop forever, paving the way for the emotional, melodic sound that dominates music today. Ye later confirmed Good Ass Job existed, though it was unfinished. Snippets and rumored track lists surfaced, but the full project never dropped. From Kanye's Heartbreak to 50 Cent's near-death experience, some albums was lost before they even hit the streets. Power of the Dollar by 50 Cent. So before Get Rich or Die Trying made him a global icon, 50 Cent already had an album that could have changed everything, Power of the Dollar. Planned for release in 2000 under Columbia Records, this was supposed to be 50's explosive debut. The industry buzz was real. His single How to Rob, a playful fantasy about robbing every major rapper, made him both famous and infamous overnight. Tracks like Thug Love and Your Life's on the Line showed a young, fearless artist who mixed street realism with clever wordplay. But then came the moment that nearly ended his life and his career. In May 2000, just before the album's release, 50 Cent was shot 9 times outside of his grandma's house. Now, a lot of people thought the attack was connected to his controversial song Ghetto Koran, which detailed the rise of Queens drug lords and allegedly angered Kenneth Supreme McGriff. Now, Columbia Records immediately distanced themselves. They dropped him, shelved the album, and blacklisted him across the industry. Now, for most artists, that would have been the end, but not for 50. And just as one rising star faced danger, another aimed to unite coasts before tragedy struck. One Nation by Tupac with Boot Camp Click. Before his death, Tupac wasn't just plotting music, he was playing a piece. One Nation was supposed to be that bridge, a project meant to unite the East and West Coast at a time when hip-hop was tearing itself apart. The idea came in '96, during the height of coastal rivalry. While headliners were painting Pac as the face of the West feud with New York, behind the scenes, he was reaching out to Brooklyn's Boot Camp Click. Now, his vision was bold, an album that brought both sides together under one message: unity through hip-hop. Recording sessions kicked off in California, and those who were there called them magic. Tupac's energy was unmatched, jumping from one verse to another, trading bars with rappers that he was supposed to be at war with. He wanted One Nation to be more than just songs, it was a statement. Plans was even made for a two-part release, one under his Machiavelli label and another through Boot Camp Ducks Down Records. Outkast, Scarface, Bone Thugs, and E40 was all rumored to join up. Now, before it was finished, Tupac was tragically killed in '96, leaving One Nation unfinished. Only bootlegs ever existed, but never the full version. East meets West wasn't just a vision of unity, sometimes even legends collide in ways that halt greatness, as Jay-Z and Kanye would learn. Watch the Throne 2 by Jay-Z and Kanye West. So when Watch the Throne dropped in 2011, it wasn't just an album, it was an event. Jay-Z and Kanye West, two of hip-hop's biggest titans, joined forces to celebrate success, power, and black excellence. The production was enormous, the chemistry was evident, and fans wanted more right away, so it seemed inevitable when Watch the Throne 2 rumors began to circulate. But then the throne cracked. Behind the scenes, things weren't as golden as they looked. Their artistic fire was stoked by a friendship that started to wane. Yeast's unpredictable behavior, which included his infamous 2014 award show outburst and his tirades on tour, started to cause distance. You add in some tension between Beyonce and Kim Kardashian, and personal drama started bleeding into the music. By 2016, their relationship was in free fall. Kanye called out Jay-Z on stage after Kim's Paris robbery, claiming the Carters never checked on him. Still, Kanye kept the hope alive, tweeting that Watch the Throne 2 was coming soon, and even having his associate Justin LaBoy claim it would drop by the end of 2021, but it never did. Even decades later, hip-hop still dreams of collaborations that never happened, like the ultimate pairing of J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Untitled by J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. Very few rumors in hip-hop history have lived as long or as loudly as the whispers of a J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar joint album. The idea surfaced around 2010 when both rappers were still climbing towards stardom. During a small in-store for Section 80, Kendrick hinted that he and Cole had been cooking something special. Now, word spread fast, and pretty soon fans was convinced a full collaborative project was only a matter of time. Cole himself fueled the fire. He later admitted that he produced nearly 90% of the beats for the album, and one of the rumored tracks, Shock the World, became almost mythic among fans. By 2015, after both rappers had dropped landmark albums, 2014 Forest Hills Drive and To Pimp a Butterfly, excitement hit fever pitch. But then came Black Friday, when both artists released remixes of each other's songs on the same day, an apparent teaser for what was next. Now, as years passed, busy tours and solo projects left no room for the collab. In 2023, J. Cole confirmed they recorded together, but the timing wasn't right. But yet the dream lives on, still hip-hop's ultimate what-if album. Hip-hop history is full of legendary unreleased albums that never dropped, yet their stories keep fans obsessed. You loving these lost classics? Y'all make sure you hit like and subscribe for more legendary hip-hop content.